kickoff. Get yourself a nice refreshing beverage and settle back as we wait for the kickoff of the Asian Rugby Championships.
Good afternoon and welcome to Hong Kong. We're here at Sports Road at the Hong Kong Football Club and we welcome Malaysia for round 2 of the Asia Rugby Championship 2023. It's a big day, a lot of people into the ground. It's actually been deemed as a sellout, but I can see a few empty seats and I'm joined here in co-commentary with Glyn Hughes. Welcome, Glyn.
Thanks for having me, Cookie. Yeah, no, pleasure to be here. It's pretty hot day out there, but expecting a good game of rugby ahead.
Absolutely. And as we've said, it's about 30 degrees on the mercury here at the moment. And yeah, the relative humidity would probably be about 80%, which is probably not coming through. So here we have the Malaysian side that went down last week, 27-3 to Korea. But they had a really fighting first half and pushed Korea all the way. At tight head prop, Lawrence Petrus, he's got some experience in Australia playing at the Manly Club, among many others. Number 8, Amin, aka Bouncer, most capped player and has been playing since 2006, so he's got a fantastic thing. And their captain, number 10, Farouz, also known to his friends as Ut, made his debut for Malaysia in 2005. And they've also got a host of young players, 9 debutants last week against Malaysia. So now we're going to be looking at the Hong Kong team. What do you make of this, Glyn?
Yeah, it's quite an exciting team, actually. There's a fair few changes from the previous few games that we had in Dubai and then also in the ARC last year. We've got Tommy Hill, skipper for the first time as well at inside centre, and Patrick Jenkinson in the row as well as vice captain too. There's a lot of very exciting players around there. You got Sam Troy at 6 as well, making his debut. Well, debut, I think, starting debut. If I'm
Starting,
correct.
yeah, first time in the starting shirt.
And then you got a few lads returning from overseas as well. There's some really exciting talent in 13 and 15 shirts there.
Absolutely. Alex Post, he's one of the more experienced players in the Hong Kong side, returning from Richmond. He's had a good 12 months. He was man of the match in the varsity game, and here they are, Tommy Hill leading out the Hong Kong side there, and boys looking fairly pensive as they come out of the nice air-conditioned changing rooms here at Hong Kong Football Club into this cauldron that we have in front of us here. It's certainly going to be a big day here. Rich Lancashire there, the Hong Kong team manager. And we start to line up for the anthems. Thankfully, it's coming up to, well, it's about 5 o'clock here in Hong Kong now. And thankfully, the sun has gone down a little bit, taking some of the heat out of this for them, Glenn.
Yeah, and it looks like with the flags there, it looks like there's a little bit of wind actually from left to right as we're seeing it. So, yeah, interesting start.
So referee Shane Barn, Singapore's leading referee, and ably assisted by Furuse and Kaurahara from the Japan Rugby Union, and our TMO, Greg Hinton. So here we have the Malaysian anthem.
Please
the
remain
coaching team, Farid Saiwazan, former prop for Malaysia himself. Here we have the anthem for the People's Republic of China. A rousing Sam Choi there, as we said, making his first start. Lewis Evans, his 6th game in charge of the Hong Kong team, and he got off to a great start last year in the ARC, the one-off game against Korea with a win.
Get ready for some rugby!
And there he is, Shane Barr from the Singapore Rugby Union, native of Australia. And I understand, Glyn, that Malaysia won the toss and they're going to be kicking.
Yep, and interesting, they've got the sun in their eyes actually. First half, you think timing of the game, second half it's going to be under some floodlights as well, so interesting that they've gone for that option, but with the wind probably going into it, second half they'll have the wind at their backs. There's obviously logic to decision that was made.
Just wait for my whistle, okay? Yeah.
So, as we can see, there he is, Tommy Hill, taking the skipper's armband. He'll be looking for a good start here. And the Malaysian captain, Farouz.
Tommy, you good?
And obviously a big warm welcome to all our viewers from around the world, and those especially back in Malaysia who will undoubtedly be cheering on their side. So Farouz kicks the ball high and wide. Good take there. So Hong Kong, we're looking for a secure exit first up here.
It'll be a physical start, Cookie. Tommy will be happy with that, getting his hands on the ball and getting a carry in early doors.
Looks like Jamie Lauder is setting up for the box kick. And it's a decent ball, and it's dropping in field. Good take there from Amarul Hafiz.
Some good contacts there.
And a good early jackal there. Faisal Solomona over the ball. There's a really good follow-up from Van der Schmidt. Put the catcher under all sorts of problems. And an early shot from Gregor McNeish.
Yeah, very efficient start there from Hong Kong. That was a good couple of phases, settlers, and then Lauder's kick was decent. It was a little bit of time for the fullback to return it, but some good collisions in midfield from Tommy Hill and Van der Schmidt as well, and then big Faisal over the ball. Difficult man to shift when he's over the ball like that. Gives Gregor an early doors shot for 3 points.
As you say, a very workmanlike start to the game so far for Hong Kong. There we have the Rhino ball. So McNeish just off a couple of steps here. Looks like a good contact, and it's straight through. 3-0, and a good early start there from Hong Kong. Obviously, being a kicker yourself, Glyn, you know how important it is to nail those early ones and settle the nerves of the team.
Yep, that was a confident strike there from Gregor. He's sort of character that will step up and be very reliable in those kind of situations. And yeah, the early 3 points there in the first minute is a really good start for Hong Kong. Exactly.
So Farouz looks to kick right. Ball's taken by Van der Schmidt, who's immediately put some of that footwork on. McCulloch is in nothing, and a great offload there to Jamie Lauder. It looks like the ball's been knocked down, but McNeish has gone quickly. Alex Post has lost the ball there. So that will be a knock-on. Fantastic breakout there from Van der Schmidt.
Yeah, very difficult man to stop, isn't he? That big right foot step there. He carried some decent ball there, and just a little bit sloppy there once we made a decent line break.
Stability, stability. Yes, sir. Yep.
It's good to see the attacking intent of Hong Kong, though, tapping it quickly and going. Some really good support of Van der Schmidt from McCulloch and also Jamie Lauder. So Ash Hyde on this loose head side, the Hong Kong scrummage. As Razali feeds the ball, making his second cap. It's a good scrummage from Hong Kong there. Lauder scrags the 8.
Carried back.
It's carried back, and they've kicked it deep. Charlie Hickson-Smith. Pretty strong carry, and he's gone straight through the first contact there.
Nice.
Tommy Hill makes the break, gets the ball to Jamie Lauder, puts the foot on the gas, and that's the opening try of the game, Jamie Lauder. So 4 minutes in, and a try under the posts for Jamie Lauder. Talk us through this, Glyn.
I mean, in terms of the start, I think this is exactly what Hong Kong would have been after with the initial 3 points. But just you mentioned the intent to attack. Higo with a very good carry back into midfield, and just the Malaysian team did number up properly on the blind side, recognised Gregor and Tommy went blind. Nice line break from Tommy, and Great tracking line from Lords, as he often does on that little inside line. Easy meat pie for Jamie there.
So Charlie Hickson-Smith, as you say, got them onto the front foot there, and the extras added by Gregor McNeish. So a 10-0 lead inside 5 minutes. This is the dream start that Lewis Evans would have been hoping for from the Hong Kong team. It's a tough ask for the Malaysians to back up a week after playing in humid conditions against the South Koreans. Pretty tough game that they were on the wrong side of 27 points to 3.
They're just going to want a bit of ball, I think, here. I don't think they touch the ball. Oh, Faisal going up.
Faisal completely missed that. Some good work indeed there. Sawyer all over him. Ghazali clears the ball. Oh, a strong hit there from Solomona. Some good work there, picking it up. Samir.
Oof.
Van der Schmidt and Hong Kong are really pressing forward here, but it looks like there's an offside decision there.
There's a monster collision there from Van der Schmidt. Some of the big fellows working really hard early doors. Luke there, but Faisal has been on fire the first 5 minutes or so. He's been all over the shop.
Shot. Shot.
So Farouz, this is probably a good idea, because it's been 6 minutes so far and it's been pressure from Hong Kong. So this just gives Malaysia an opportunity to take a breath, hopefully get something onto the scoreboard here.
Bit of a hospital pass there, wasn't it, Cookie, with Luke Van der Schmidt. His eyes going very wide there, I think, with that ball in the air for so long, and the poor hooker copping a big shot there.
Would be the absolute last man that I would want. So Faisal got himself through there. He'd also be another man I wouldn't want to get a hospital ball with it flashing. So Farouz, one of the most experienced players in Malaysia, made his debut 2005 from the Putrajaya state in Malaysia. Couple of steps in, and it's just off to the left of the posts.
Not an easy first kick from there.
And a big deep kick down the line here. Malaysia move the ball. Good little chip over the top. He's looking for the bounce. Everybody's having to hang off until somebody gets their hands on the ball, and Jamie Lauder swoops down on it. And a good ball there from Terry, and a great little nudge over the top there by McNeish, running it into touch.
Yeah, lovely little option there from Gregor. There was only one in the backfield there from Malaysia, and there's no way he could cover both corners, and he got the nice little bounce and that little top kick there, and rolls into touch to give
well covered by the Malaysian winger there.
Keep them on you, please.
So first opportunity for the Malaysians to throw the ball in. The hooker, Amaral, known as Chibong. Malaysia bring the ball down and they start to move it. That's a solid carry, some good post-contact meters there. Pulls the ball deep and they've gone high. Jamie Lauder's underneath it, takes it unchallenged. Tommy Hill under pressure. Seb Bryan moves the ball. Oh, great ball there from Altier. Nate Terry just bounces the man off the tackle there.
Great feet from Nate. There's some big gaps in midfield here.
Oh, Faisal Solomona comes onto the ball on a great offload there. The front row in concert here. Ash Hyde gets the ball to McNeish. He does a little dummy back on the inside. Sam Choi looks after and drives it hard into contact.
Still some numbers here.
Jamie Lauder. Oh, great ball over the top there. Altier does the dummy to Hickson-Smith. takes the contact. They're about 5 meters out. Fighting hard here. Malaysians hard on defence. Lauder spins the ball. And they're just a metre short now. And Lauder up to Saptroy again. Another good tackle in defence there. Lauder now puts it to McNeish, to Seb Bryan, who bounces off the man, and he finds his way to the line like any good winger. So second try there, Seb Bryan.
Yeah, he rode a good tackle there. Seb's a hard man to pick down, and he's very effective in 5 meters out, that little zone there.
Yeah,
but just a little bit worrying there, I think, for Malaysia, going into deeper into the phase count, and how there were 6 sixes and 7s in the midfield there when we went out the back. Hong Kong went out the back, and Gregor found Faisal, rampaging Faisal.
Oh, great finish there from Seb Bryan. As you said, he bounced through. Couple of tackles, a little bit like a pinball, human pinball there.
He is, isn't he? He's yeah, he's a very good player. There's a lot of firepower in that back three, and I mean, Seb had an outstanding sevens, didn't he? Just the one just gone. Top try scorer in the Hong Kong sevens. And yeah, I mean, off the bench as well, there's even more to come as well with Harry there too. So positive signs here for Hong Kong.
So McNeish adds the extras. With only 11 minutes gone, it's looking ominous for Malaysia. 17-0 already. Lewis Evans and Mano Mayer there in the coaching box will be pretty happy with what they've seen so far. So Faisal Solomoni, he's made a really good impact on this game so far, Glyn.
Yeah, he has in both attack and defence. He's really fired up for this. There's been some real dominant shots in D, and then yeah, there. Coming off of Gregor's shoulder and bouncing a lot of the defenders off and getting the offload away, and some of the interplay as well has been pretty impressive. There was a couple of times where we looked like Hong Kong were going to go over in that phase.
So good hanging restart there from Farouz, but well connected. Another high hanging kick from Lauder.
That's great.
Hickson Smith, that was a fantastic take there by Gong Chung. And Petrus, first time he's got his hands on the ball there. Looks after him. Farouz goes back against the grain, looking to try and find some space, but McNeish is onto it. And he decides to go deep. And he's hanging it down, and that's a really good take there from Hafiz.
It's a 7, it looks like.
Oh, Seb Bryan got bounced off by Hafiz there. So, a little sloppy pass there. Solomona again is onto it. Well tidied up there. Some good counter rucking there from Pat Jenkinson.
Got some numbers here.
So Malaysia stepping inside McCulloch there, looking to keep their hands on this ball. So first bit of prolonged possession, another chip over the top, and the winger was onto that one, but it runs into touch. But Lauder and McNeish were there.
That was good from Malaysia, though. That was a bit of intent. Hong Kong, in terms of their defensive shape, they looked like they were slow to react to some of the numbers on that left side of the field there. Arguably, Malaysia could have kept the ball in hand. In terms of what Malaysia are offering here, it looks like the 10 and captain Ut is the main option for kicking. I don't think the 9 looks too comfortable as a kicking option, but 10 looks like he's pulling a few strings.
Great ball off. Great ball off the top there, and a really good hang on to there from Charlie Hickson-Smith. Drops it inside, and Van der Schmidt is absolutely ecstatic there. Really good set play there, and for all money it looked like a knock-on. We'll get the replay here in a second, Glenn, and you can talk us through it, but Van der Schmidt, he is fired up for this game. Talk us through it.
Yeah, it was rather fortuitous there. You saw a rebound off of as Higo was coming through. So Tommy was the first receiver of the ball off the line out. He was looking for Higo on the inside. Higo's not necessarily known for his skill set with his feet, but he's done very well to keep that momentum on the ball, and it sat very nicely for him, and a lovely offload there to a great support line as well from Van der Smit, and he's pumped to go over the whitewash.
In previous commentaries, I may well have called Higo Edward Scissorhands, so it was fantastic bit of work there to see him hang on to that one. And McNeish has knocked the extras over. It's 24 points to 0, and we're but 15 minutes into this. So what we thought was a knock-on was an intervention from the Malaysians, actually trying to knock the ball down and backwards. And yeah, fantastic hands there from Hickson Smith.
It's just good to see him on the field for the full 15 minutes, isn't it? After the last game that he played in Korea as well, when he was Guinness World Record holder actually now. He's the earliest sending off in
15 seconds, I think, wasn't
15 seconds, yeah. But no, that was a significantly better contribution to the game there from Higo, and hopefully we see him some more ball in hand, because he's a difficult man to put down when he's at full flight.
So the ball mopped up there by skipper Tom Hill. Some good set-piece play here. McNeish high and hanging, and it's into the sun.
Backwards, blue.
And McCulloch knocks it back, but it's dropped into the hands there of Adam for Malaysia. Sam Troy with a good tackle there, but Malaysia looking after the ball. And a good drive straight through the middle of the ruck there, and a little pop pass there, and it's dropped into the hands again of Sweet. This left winger has been busy.
Entry for blue.
And a quick tap there from Razali. The penalty, and Razali moves the ball to the open side. Lawrence Petrus drives the ball, looks after it in contact, but it's a knock-on. Hyde mops it up, and they get the ball to McNeish. Tom Hill puts that hefty right boot on it, and the ball is deep in the Malaysian half, and they're looking to bring it back here. Gong Chung looks like he's put that one out on the full.
That's a big swing there.
That is a big advantage. Alex Post ahead of the kick made by Tom Hill there. So it'll be interesting to see what the Malaysians do. 24 points to 0. This should be pretty much a gimme.
I feel like they need something on the scoreboard at this stage.
So the referee saying that both 2 and 5 are offside there, and it looks like the kicking tee is on. So
Cookie, I've been pretty impressed with the balance that Hong Kong have shown in some of their exits. Early doors, he's a very reliable option. Jamie Lauder with his box kick, but we've seen a very nicely weighted kick from Gregor just now on a kick to compete, and then Tommy Hill at 12 putting some foot to ball as well, and getting some decent ground. He's a good kicking option there, but there's kicking options all over the shot. You've got Nate at 13, who's incredibly gifted footballer. And you got Altier at fullback as well. So there's plenty for Hong Kong to fall back on in terms of their game management.
And fantastic to see there. 24 points to 3. Farouz lands the penalty, and the first points for Malaysia. So here we are at 18 minutes, and the referee has called the first water break. So what do you make of this first stanza? 24 points to 3, Glenn.
Yeah, it was Hong Kong started the game like a house on fire, and had pretty much, I think it would have been textbook from what Lewis would have wanted when he went to bed last night, to be honest. I think there's been some real good physicality early doors. The game management, the kicking's been accurate, and then there's been some of the big fellas really stepping up physicality-wise. Faisal, we mentioned, Van der Smit. It's been very hard for Malaysia to compete with that, and then but really good now that we've got Malaysia on the scoreboard, and hopefully we'll see a very competitive next stanza in the game.
And it's good to see that we have got so many people watching in Malaysia in chat. Welcome along, everybody. So the referee now calls it back, and as we said, Malaysia got themselves on the board, 24 points to 3. Van der Schmidt putting plenty of glue on his hands. Sawyer there talking to assistant coach Logan Asplin. De Terry, skipper Tom Hill there. And always good to see the youngsters in the crowd along to watch the game. It's pretty hot out there.
Very family friendly, aren't we, down here at the club, Cookie?
Absolutely.
Take maybe up for a swim later after the game.
Okay, we got it. Up to date now.
And it's good to know that Van der Schmidt is along. He would have been very, very happy to see Luke go under the sticks for that try. He'd have probably been as happy as Luke himself was. So plenty of cool beverages being taken down here at the football club. Need to stay hydrated in this heat, Clint.
Correct, yeah. And we can see here some of the shadows are getting quite long. The sun is going down, and I think that will help definitely for hydration levels, but also the quality of some of the handling as well. I think the later in the game, the ball hopefully will stick a little bit easier as well. It is going to be sweaty out there regardless, but yeah, hopefully with the sun going down, we'll have a little bit of a cooler conditions.
So first restart for Hong Kong. McNeish tees this up and pumps it deep. That's a good take over his head there.
Wait, red.
That was a blindside to take that and then kicking his own.
Winning his 6th cap, one of the more experienced players now, Van der Schmidt. Couple of steps and gets the ball off to Jenkinson. Good work there. Now McNeish pulls it deep to Tom Hill, a little bit behind Tom though. A really good take there from Azam. Now they're moving this ball well. The hooker, big man there, Amarul, known as Chi Bong.
Sam Choi being a real menace there. Just not giving up, staying on his feet and making the tackle up on his feet and competing over the ball.
Farouz high and hanging.
Good kick.
Hickson Smith is under it and he gets tackled. And a great bit of work there from Altier. Bounces out of the first tackle and he gets moving. And then Ash Hyde ships the ball on to McCulloch, who keeps pumping through contact there.
He's very
just
good.
Inside the Malaysia 22, and another loose ball there. Cannot stress how wet and sweaty it is here.
Yeah. Sorry, Cookie. Yeah, the Cal in those open channels over there, over in the wide channels, he's very effective out there. But interesting there, Nate as well. Nate's obviously, he's been playing in Australia for this season, so that the change for him is going to be pretty significant, right? We're taking the ball there at first receiver. He's got a very good skill set, and that's a very out-of-character thing for him to drop the ball there. But going from the humidity and the conditions that he'd been playing in all year to then playing at club in Hong Kong in June.
I was actually in Australia a few weeks ago, and it was probably about 20 degrees cooler. So I know exactly what you're saying there. So Razali with this feed to the Malaysian scrum. They'll be looking to clear this ball away from here as quickly as they can. Solomona really putting some heat on there, but good work there. On a great show and go there from Gong Chang. And has he got some support? Oh, Altier could be in trouble there. Got his hand in on the ball, but the referee looks like he's playing advantage. And I'm thinking that there could well be the colour yellow coming here. And they might even look at the prospect of a
15. Intentional knock on.
Yeah, it was gone.
Yeah, and that's a yellow card there on 21 minutes for Altier. I don't think there was anything too malicious in that. It was just one of those natural reactions to stick your paw out. But it gives Malaysia an opportunity to get a foothold, and potentially looks like they're going for a shot again. And we shouldn't forget that the last time Malaysia came here in 2019, they absolutely put the wind up Hong Kong, and Hong Kong only just got home 30 points to 24.
Yep, there's a lot of rugby to be played yet. There was a lovely line break there from Zarif, the 12 there, off the scrum. Lauder overchased slightly off the scrum, and he threw the dummy, went off his left, and made a massive 50-meter line break there, and just shows that there is running capabilities and there's threats on the field for Malaysia as well. And a bit of a hiding to nothing there for Paul in the backfield. You're right, his hand looked like the motion was up, but in those kind of situations where there's a big open field break like that, and you do knock the ball forward, you're always running the risk of a yellow like that.
So a decent kick, and it's back-to-back penalties there for Farouz. So 24 points to 6. So is this potentially a bit of a momentum change here? I think the coach Farid Sayawazan will be pretty happy to have registered 6 points. Really solid strike off the tee there.
Yeah, he's striking nicely, isn't he?
Nice little 9-iron there.
Yeah, from Hong Kong's perspective here, I think nothing really needs to change. We just backed up to one error with another, really. Knock-on off the restart. But yeah, the knock-on from Nate, and then the overchase in D, and equals points, as it often does in rugby when you go back-to-back errors, and they'll just want a bit of time to settle. This is a big let-off, and hopefully, from a Hong Kong perspective, they'll be able to apply some pressure from this scrum.
Big mistake there from number 8, Amin. One of the most experienced players in this team. Pretty dirty with himself about that. So Hong Kong, I think this is one of the first opportunities they've had to feed the scrummage. So they'll be looking to try and put the same heat on. Ash Hyde there, one of the most durable players in Hong Kong. He's played 93% of all Sandy Bay's Premiership games of all time. So getting the nudge on here, the ball at Van der Schmidt's feet. Lauder clears the ball. Tommy Hill, and a great little step away there. And Deterry out of the back of the hand, and McNeish is under the sticks. And that is the 4th try for Hong Kong. So exactly as you said, what Hong Kong would have wanted. So the Kowloon boys there in the crowd, talk us through this.
It's a nice shape off, it's the classic go-to shape, and they've run it well. They've hit Nate short, and he's got the ball away nicely to Gregor as well. That's lovely from Nate, and yeah, good follow-up for Gregor and some good feet to go in under the sticks, and Lauder's buried him over as well. He'll claim that as an assist, I think.
Yeah, very good scrum, very stable. Yeah, good. We can just keep 2 down, we're sweet, I reckon. Yeah, cool.
From a Malaysia perspective, that was a bit easy. I think the reads, there were some good
Still
lines there
from
Hong Kong, but not defended too well, to be honest. And Nate running that short line, getting a gain line as easy as that, and then getting the ball away was a little easy. But it's yeah, interesting to see how they're going to respond to this now, because they've had a bit of a swing in the momentum of this game in the last 5-10 minutes or so.
So 31 points to 6, and got to remind ourselves that LTA is off the pitch, so Hong Kong down to 14 men at the moment. So that's a pretty good bit of deception when you're a man down in the backs there, and McNeish, as we've said, nails the extras again.
Yeah, even more reason for the guys in midfield to stay square there, because we've got one less option at 15 there in the back move. So you'd stay square and take your man, and it was a little easy.
Good take there from Deterry. Gets the ball to Van der Schmidt. The ball on the inside there. Cal McCullough.
Go Cal.
Look at that, showing some of that skill. And Charles Hickson-Smith, almost back-to-back tries. That was really, really good work there. Good take from Deterry. Then Van der Schmidt and McCullough. What a fantastic break that was. I'm sure his father be proud to see that.
Yeah, no, he's a very mobile player, is Cal. He's full-time with the sevens, and you can see he's quick over the ground, and he's got good skills. But Van der Schmidt on those kick returns, you can't give him time or space on those restarts, because he is very, very dangerous. And yeah, there's been a Hugo celebration. That's out of character. He'll enjoy that, being on the scoreboard again for Hong Kong.
So McNeish so far 100% off the tee.
All good.
Arguably may have drifted forward. If I was a Malaysia fan, I'd probably thinking that may have drifted forward slightly, but a lovely offload from Cal to Higo, who's gone under the sticks there and got himself on the scoreboard.
So 38 points to 6. Just about 27 minutes gone. Malaysia probably doing the absolute right thing and just slowly coming back to halfway, giving themselves plenty of time to catch a few breaths here.
They are still a man up though.
So Farouz, short kick this time, and Malaysia get to it, knock it back. Razali now spins the ball back to Farouz, and they bring the ball to this left edge. Good ball on the inside there. Harith looks after that ball. And Petrus, nice little drop off on the inside, but Solomona nails his man there. Hits Samir and forces a small knock on there in the contact. Another good showing there from Solomona.
Yeah, it's massive again. Big collision in midfield. Dislodged the ball and possession back to Hong Kong, and it's a nice little spot to attack from this little midfield scrum. You got Sebi Bryan and actually Paul is still off the field, isn't he? So it's not as easy as it might have been, but there's plenty of options off this scrum, and just inside their own half as well. So there's 50-20 options on 2.
So Lauder with another feed. It's only the second scrum feed that Hong Kong have had.
So we've got Gregor's shifted over to the right here. You could hit Hillman, and then Tommy hit a. Oh, they're moving again.
So ball going forward, really good. And Van der Schmidt comes to the blind side, steps inside, drops it out the back of the hand, but downwards. Sebi Bryan looks after that one, releases it and gets back to his feet. But now pushing the ball back to Lauder. Ooh, interesting call there, or non-call should I say, but a good take there from Daniel. Some really solid contacts on the gate line here from the Hong Kong team.
This is
and
tough.
Malaysia have got a man down in back play here, just behind the ruck. Razali pokes it straight down the middle, and it's a good bouncing ball, but McNeish is there, and he immediately rakes it out to the left-hand side of the field and takes play to just about the 10-metre line inside the Malaysian half on the left wing there, just in front of the Forsgate stand. And some attention here in back play.
Yes.
And
the water mechanics are on here now.
I didn't see it, and we've got the TMO.
Pretty tough
so we'll
for
keep an
Malaysia
eye
to
on
get
it.
their
Sorry, I
attack
didn't
going.
see it.
It's in terms of momentum, it's always easy to attack with that momentum, and there's been a couple of times where the nines looked around and there's not been many options for him to hit, and there's very little shape, and it's making it very easy for guys like Faisal to line up some of these attackers that come in, and he's putting these big shots, and you can see some of these Malaysian ball carriers are getting dealt with and spending a bit of time on the floor after meeting the likes of Faisal and Van der Schmidt.
So this is the second water break for those of you not here in Hong Kong. The heat and humidity and the heat index dictates that we have 2 water breaks in this first half at 15 minutes and 30 minutes. So that is the second water break. Good to see the young kids and the young ladies in supporting the game. There he is, Graham Breakin, one of the legends of the Hong Kong Football Club there. No doubt telling everybody what's going on.
There's his son next to him as well, Murray, who's been part of the squad as well, been training with Hong Kong as well. He's a handy player himself as well, so I'm sure at some point in the future we'll see him donning the colours for Hong Kong too.
So
sorry, mate. You go.
Sorry, yeah, we come back from this water break, 38 points to 6, just about 30 minutes gone. And Amarul Chibong with this throw into this line out. Bit of a dummy there and a really good interception by Pat Jenkinson, gets it off the top. And Van der Schmidt is going straight up the middle. A good tackle though. And he's considered to have rolled on a couple of times after the tackle.
12 red in a position to tackle.
Which, considering he was never held in the tackle, seemed a harsh decision. But Van der Schmidt penalised there. And referee Shane Barr offering some respite for the Malaysians, who look to kick deep and take some territory.
I think refs, sorry mate, the refs have been told to cut down on that sort of thing as well. It seemed pretty harsh, because the 12 was in a position full of a split second over the ball, but big swing again.
So play inside the Hong Kong half, just outside their 22. And another opportunity for Amarul to feed this ball. And you got the likes of Pat Jenkinson. It's always tough. Oh, and a good ball to the front of the line out. And Jamie Lauder has got in so quickly. There was a slight knock on by the Malaysians, and Solomona carries the ball in contact there. Well looked after by Sam Choi. McNeish, caught in possession, and the ball was knocked out of his grasp. The judge had gone backwards, and then the same things happened again.
No advantage.
So the referees brought it back for a knock-on by Hong Kong.
Thank you.
There was what looked like two or three goes at that one.
Mark's here, thanks boys.
So Sawyer gets in on one, and McNeish gets the ball, and Hong Kong back to 15, Altier back to the field.
Let me look. You be square, won't you?
That was the first, I think it might have been 13. One of the centres for Malaysia had shot out the line there, and Gregor went for the gap, and just unfortunately got snagged there. I think he started very well in this game. He's been controlling it well and seems very much at ease. He's one of the guys that's flown in this week. He's now living in Andorra, of all places. He was for a long time one of the best in the Hong Kong Premiership, wasn't he, for Hong Kong Scottish, and moved on to pass his new in Andorra as a teacher.
Razali feeds the ball, but the scrummage will be reset. So Lawrence Petrus on the tight head side of this Malaysian scrummage. He's a big man.
Can we have some more space?
He's up against Ash Hyde. So far, Hong Kong have had the upper hand in these scrummages.
As soon as it's stable, you put it in, okay?
But Petrus is a big man. So Razali will have this field absolutely middle of the field, just outside the Hong Kong 22. It's one of the best attacking positions that Malaysia have had so far. So Razali with the feed, and Amin gets the ball to the right-hand side. Razali pulls it back to Farouz, steps inside, and it's given as a high shot. Farouz goes quickly. Probably a good tactic from them. Razali's digging in for this ball. Prop forward caught there. McCullough can post. Razali swings the ball out to the right-hand side. Oh, a fortuitous bounce there. Some good work there from the back row players. But unfortunately, as Sarif came in to take or to cover up there, the ball was placed back straight onto his foot, and he's cannoned it straight into touch there. A
bit more promising from Malaysia though, there wasn't it? As they're testing the 9, does look to does look to tap and go quite a lot, and in these hot conditions, you can see it's really going to test the Hong Kong defence. You see right now, straight off the back of that, Faisal on his hands and knees as well, but all three of the front row were receiving treatment. So that's exactly what we're going to need from Malaysia to see them really challenge and test this Hong Kong defence.
The only thing that's stopping it being square is your one not going forward as well. Yeah, okay.
So Solomona being read the riot act there by referee Shane Barr.
Just wait, I've got time off at the moment.
So Hong Kong throw here, going to a short line out.
We got a sub there, Steve. Yeah, we got one coming.
Lauder, McCulloch, Jenkinson and Choi. And it looks like Ben Higgins, Hong Kong's most capped player to date. Well, in the squad anyway, 23 caps. Now playing at the Randwick Club in Sydney. Made his debut in Japan in 2016. So good take there from McCulloch. Van der Schmidt has got through a truckload of work in this first half. Another good carry from him. Lauder rips that ball back to McNeish. It's a pretty solid exit. A really good amount of ground made there. Takes the play to about 5 metres inside the Malaysian half. So really good kick there by McNeish. But some textbook first phase skills there.
Yeah, great exit. Coach is very, very happy with that one. Shame to see Ash Hyde have to depart the field there. We've got Ben Higgins coming on, obviously, but Ash has been around for a while now, and when you were talking up his durability earlier as well.
I was going to say, the irony of the commentator's curse.
Yeah, it looked like something, problem with his ankle, but hopefully he'll be fit for next week as well.
So Amaral with the throw into this line out. Ball tapped back on the Malaysian side, but under pressure from Higgins. But they've recovered this ball, and Petrus drops the ball to Samir. And in tandem there, and Farouz puts the ball high, and Seb Bryant comes in for it, but misses it. Altier with a fantastically athletic take there. And he's gone into contact there, and good work there. Follow up from Sebi Bryan. McNeish just dinks this over the top, but it's well marked in the 22. And he taps it to himself.
Kick.
Pulls the ball deep into the hands of Van der Schmidt, who's winding the wick up. A couple of good steps there, and he just steps through into that contact. Lauder brings the ball out the back from. Really played well into the front line there from McNeish to Sawyer. Some good counter rucking. And Shane Barr picks up a small knock on there at the base of that scrummage, or base of that ruck.
He's a threat, isn't he, Van der Schmidt, on those kick returns. He's so he's obviously destructive, and he's a big man, but he steps so well off his feet, and as a defender there, I mean, he went round double step on the chasing winger, and then the poor fella that was tackling him on the second one, he just dropped his shoulder and went straight into him. It's a bit of a difficult one when a man that big can move so well off his feet like he does.
Oh, really? Yeah. I mean, if I see it, I'll blow it. And if the TMO says it, he'll tell me, but I didn't see it, I'm sorry.
Saying in chat that he wishes he was here. He's currently in Namibia.
I need a lift. On and lift.
Nice little interjection there from Altier as well. That's one of the first times we've really seen him since he got back on the field as well. He's very dynamic. He got away earlier as well in the game, and seeing him in a bit of space, he is pretty lethal. He's playing his rugby in France now.
Yeah, as you say, he's one of those very natural gliding runners. Eats the ground up. Pretty athletic take there. So Ben Higgins now on the loose head side of the Hong Kong scrummage. Scrumming has gone well for Hong Kong so far, but Razali with the feed. So on the 10-metre line, just inside their own half, Malaysia with the feed. So Ghazali rolls that one in. Oh, Higgins destroys Petrus there. But Malaysia clear the ball really well, and Farouz goes aerial again. Altier in, takes the ball, but immediately gets hit by Adam, who's been one of the standout players in this first half for Malaysia. He's got that distinctive yellow headgear.
Right,
Higgins ends up with the ball.
He's going to kick it, yeah.
Just give it to Terry. Oh, it's a really good long raking kick. It's bouncing down all the way and pulls up just shy of the try line for Malaysia.
This is bold, very bold.
Takes on Sebi Bryan there. Hafiz, and the ball's come loose, and Sebi Bryan is onto it like a flash. Like a thief in the night, Sebi Bryan grabs hold of his second try.
Not a great decision there from the backfield, and it was the 7, to be fair. I don't know if he's got much of a kicking game, but it was a great kick from Nate to begin with, but some really good kick chase, and you can see the numbers around the ball there for Hong Kong. But yeah, that needed to go off the field, and he threw the ball to his teammate, the 9, who got eaten up by McCullough, and it was a good night from that point on, really.
Yeah, and Sebi Bryan so alive to those situations. Not the man that you want to give a sniff to like that. So 43 points to 6 as we move into the shadows of half-time. McNeish gets another opportunity with the ball on the tee. Probably his most difficult kick he's had to line up so far. Valley Racetrack away in the distance there, but McNeish does in fact nail the extras and takes the score out to 45 points to 6.
I think some of the Malaysian boys would be happy for half time at this stage. Still got a minute and a bit to play.
Yeah, it's a tough ask, so Tom Hill having a quiet word with referee Shane Barr, talking about lifting the ball on the jackal there.
I don't think so. Yeah.
So there's just under a minute to go to half-time. Farouz looks like he's going to kick the ball out to the right-hand side here again for Malaysia, and he's gone a little bit deeper, hanging on to the 22. And McNeish misses the ball, but it's mopped up by Van der Schmidt, who's got himself away. I'd love to have the stats on his carried meters so far. And now to Terry. Puts a deep kick in, fielded by Harith. And now Farouz drops it onto the toe again. And he's just floated that one long. And referee Shane Barr calls that as half-time. And I'm pretty sure that the boys will be happy to get themselves back into the aircon of the changing rooms. So the players leave the field. So a pretty commanding half-time lead, 45 points to 6. Lewis Evans will be pretty happy with that, but I would imagine that he will already be thinking and looking forward to the challenge that they have here next week against Korea. Certainly won't be taking the second half for granted, but he'll want to eradicate all the little niggles and errors that have been made in that first half. Slowly striding in. Plenty of time for a little bit of thought and reflection as he heads into the sheds. And I know we're going to get some first half highlights. But a real buzz around this ground here at Hong Kong Football Club. So, opening score there for Hong Kong, McNeish. And then Lauder in with the second. That took it to 10-0 at the time. And then this ball ends up with Sebi Bryan, who, as we said, like a human pinball, just bounced his way through to get the ball down. Really good score there.
This is the fortuitous intervention from Giles, and then a great little offload as well from him to Brandon Smith under the sticks, and he celebrates very appropriately.
Very, very happy man there. And then we had a period of where the momentum shifted just a little bit towards Malaysia. They got a couple of kicks, got themselves onto the board, and brought the score back to 24 points to 6 at that stage, just 20 minutes in. So it was good to see.
I think that will be something that Lewis will mention in the sheds as well, just about there, where just letting them off the hook a little bit, and there was a couple of sloppy errors, a couple of handling errors, and a couple of penalties as well that just gave Malaysia a way back into the game. But since then, there's been a lot of tries. Cal in open field, and Higo going in for his try as well. There we see him.
Yeah, it's good to see Charlie Hickson-Smith get on the try sheet there. He'd been provider of the first one to Van der Schmidt. And then this ball bobbling at the back of the ruck. And Sebi Bryan onto that like an absolute flash. So that was it, 45 points to 6. So stay tuned, we'll be back for the second half in a few minutes' time. Welcome back, and as we say, half-time, 45 points to 6 in favour of Hong Kong. Pretty commanding start to the game, and we've got a big crowd in here. Even the youngsters are here for this game. Fantastic to see. So already the coaching teams are making their way out of the changing room, and yeah, some fairly long shadows now being cast down this ground, Glyn, and the floodlights are shining out, but still a lot of sunlight.
Yeah, they often do that here. They often, in very light conditions, they'll put the floodlights on quite early, but it does get dark quick, doesn't it? I suppose they need to make sure that things are firing as and when they're required. But yeah, is it feeling a little bit cooler out there now, Cookie? I think we'll see. I think second half is going to be a little easier on the lads, but I'd imagine we'll see both coaches unload the bench quite early here. I think from a Hong Kong perspective, I think Lewis is going to want to see some of the other guys come off the bench and see what they can do now, given the scoreline as well. So and also with career in mind in the following week.
So the youngsters there with the Hong Kong Bohemia flying Hong Kong back onto the field. And I've got a big apology to make to Luke van der Schmidt's mother. It's her watching in Namibia. And not Luke's father. Apologies there. and a big shout out for Brett Wilkinson down there in West London, getting up early to watch the game. Welcome on board, Brett.
Still at Ealing, I believe, isn't he? Is Brett?
He is, Ealing Trailfinders.
I reckon we might do 2 this half. We'll do them at 15 and 30. Water at 15 and 30, Steve.
Just heard the referee saying that they will also go for two water breaks at 15 and 30 in this half as well. As you said, although the sun is heading down and the temperature will go down slightly, the heat index will come up as the humidity rises.
I wonder if guys like Faisal will be as fresh as he was, because he was on fire. That first 5-10 minutes, his physicality was outstanding. He was involved in everything. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he manages to back that up after a big shift of 40 minutes there in this heat.
So looking across at the Hong Kong team, it looks like Ben Higgins is the only change, which was an injury replacement for Ash Hyde. And looking over at the Malaysia team, can't see any specific changes that they've made so far. So McNeish kicks long and deep, just inside the 22. That's a really good line that the number 8 there, Amin, has come on. Carried back into the 22 there. Malaysia swing the ball off to the left edge, and the ball is bounced free. Sebi Bryan was looking to get onto that with Nate Terry, but it's bounced off a Hong Kong player and into touch. So Malaysia will have the first line-out throw of this second half.
Sebi will be sniffing around for his hat-trick, I'm sure, this half. The ball just skidding around there, and I think he was seeing his name up in lights again. But yeah, interesting exit there. They seem to be trying to. They've done it a couple of times where they go out the back and they'll go high, but that one wasn't a great exit, to be honest. And hopefully there'll be a bit more. It looks like Hong Kong will have the wind at their back, so it might be a bit easier for Hong Kong to exit more than Malaysia this second half.
So Amaral and Van der Schmidt is rampaging to about 4 metres shy of the line. Solomona just slips it. Ball clearly wasn't supposed to come to him. There's a really good breakout here, and he looks after the ball in contact there. Good support from Adam. Hooker, Amaral looking busy here. Sam Choi takes him down. Some really good work there, and Razali pokes the ball in behind And it's rolling down to the 22. McNeish picks one up off his toes, slams it deep. Malaysians push the ball to the middle of the field. And Farouz just plops the ball into the 22, but Jamie Lauder is there. And he's slowly bringing it back.
Good outcome that for Malaysia. That would be the sort of thing that I mentioned at half-time. I think Lewis will be wanting to tighten up on. There's a really good carry from Luke, and then just come around the corner, it was just sloppy. And I mean, from a Hong Kong perspective, that should have been another score really, and cough the ball up straight into a Malaysian hand, and they go a decent distance and then win the kicking battle as well. Now they've got an opportunity to attack themselves.
So on the 10-metre line, inside the Hong Kong half, Amaral will be looking to nail this. McCulloch is looking. Jenkinson, oh, he rises superbly there. Good lift on him as well. And McNeish pushes the ball deep here. The 50-22 is on, and he has nailed it. That was a superb bit of play there. Jenkinson rising at that line out. It was a good lift on him, but good hands. McNeish spotted the gap, and this really does give Hong Kong China great opportunity at the beginning of this second half. Post with the throw. Jenkinson again. Push to Tom Hill in the front, and the ball's gone loose, but it's gone backwards. Sam Choi does really well to pick that one up, and he's powering his way towards the line. Lauder now to Van der Schmidt. Looking after good work there by McCulloch. Altier, a lovely pass out there, and Sebi Bryan is in for his hat-trick. So a good start to this second half, and that's another fantastic pass there by Altier.
Yeah, lovely ball over the top. It was a little bit sloppy. It was a little sloppy in the initial carry, but Hong Kong managed to retain the ball somehow, and yeah, it was a great ball over the top from Altier. Sebi going over for his hat-trick, and looking very threatening all day, to be honest, as Seb.
Yeah, that was another, as we said, good pass by Altier. He's taken two Malaysian defenders out with the one pass there, and Seb Bryan is not going to miss an opportunity like that, and he'll enjoy that hat-trick.
Yep.
One of his best mates in the squad, Harry Sayers, scored a hat-trick the last time Hong Kong played Malaysia down at the National Stadium. Absolutely fantastic venue to play a game of rugby, and McNeish is still 100% from the tee. So Hong Kong have just notched themselves over the 50 with a 52 points to 6 lead early in this second half.
Lovely, lovely bit of play there from Hong Kong off the line out, with Patrick getting up and stealing the ball, and Gregor recognising and just giving the field position to fire something decent off of that set piece and coming away with a score. But that all came from the turnover at line out, and then the recognition from Greg.
So Farouz, great take there by McCulloch. He's scragged down, and that's a really good jackal. Ooh. It's unlucky that the tackler didn't get himself out of the road, because that was a fantastic fantastic jackal by Sayarif. Shane Barr penalised the tackler there. Gives McNeish the opportunity to carve off some more metres. Probably about 30 metres out from the Malaysian line. See the sweat on the brow. As we said, although the shadows are lengthening here at Hong Kong Football Club, it's still well over 30 degrees out there on the pitch.
So I think we're going to see a little pull-out play from this five-man line-out. We've got 5+1. We've got Lukey standing at 1. I think we'll hopefully we'll see a decent set piece here.
So Azam making way for Azri.
Talked it up, didn't they?
Small knock on there. So there's a definite feeling that maybe the energy that we saw in those first 5 to 10 minutes of the game in the first half is not there. The heat and humidity here in Hong Kong absolutely sapping the players. So Ghazali with the feed to this Malaysian scrum.
See the issues the boys have got. Rio, Charles Smith is down his left wing. He's just got to keep his hand up the whole time, just trying to see what's going on, because he'll be defending. If the 10's going to kick long right here, he's going to be the one fielding the ball, but can't see a thing because the sun's so low.
Keep working on that space and bind, yeah. Yep, thanks.
Actually, the player coming on is Ayman, better known as Chipman, slotting in on the loose head side of the scrummage up against Faisal Solomona. As Ghazali feeds this ball. It's a good strike there. To the feet of Amin. Farouz. He doubles round. A left foot kick there. And takes the play.
Yeah, it's another one of those plays where they look like they're going to be playing, and they play out the back, and then they sort of end up rushing their kick, and it's not the first time they put the ball out on the floor there, the Malaysians.
So unfortunately it's a judge, so Sebi Bryan is off and running again. Look at that man, the power in those legs of his, as he lays the ball back. Lauder to James Sawyer. It's good powering through that tackle there. Jenkinson pulls
nice
the ball deep. Tommy Hill, a little pump fake, and Detiri hit very hard in contact there. Good clean out there from Van der Schmidt. Jenkinson to Choi, rides a really solid tackle there. Ben Higgins, a little show and a go, keeps legs pumping. And a really good clean out there. Tommy Hill steps inside there, does really well. And Hafiz gets both hands to that, tries to intercept it. Unfortunately knocks it on. Said McNeish pushes that ball. Oh, Hafiz. He got fully 80 metres to go there, Glyn, so he's probably happy he dropped it.
Yeah, could have sent him for the full 80 and then called him back for the penalty as well, just to rub it in. Looks like we might have a couple of substitutions about to come on the field for Hong Kong. Sayers and Keelan Henry both warming up, shirted up. So yeah, we might start seeing some changes from the Hong Kong perspective.
Jumpers, don't obstruct the lifter, please. Oh, sorry, lifters, don't obstruct the jumper.
So there must have been an earlier infringement in the play there. So McNeish pushes the ball. So Hong Kong now just metres away. Alex Post, and a great jump there from McCullough. And the ball is in the boot. And Hong Kong are powering towards the line. And that is a regulation hooker at line out, driving maul score for Alexander Post.
That was pretty impressive, wasn't it? Some good drills there, and I think they could have. I mean, if that line out was 20 metres further back, I think they'd have driven them over as well. But some good, different methods of scoring as well, and good to see that the forwards are.
Yeah, very good setup. Just splintered the Malaysian maul completely there. And as they say, the postman always delivers.
That's the difference.
So good score there. So now playing with the Richmond club in the English Championship. But Alex grew up here in Hong Kong, spent his entire formative life here, and played at the Sandy Bay club before going offshore to Richmond. And Gregor McNeish is human, and that's his first miss of the day.
Tommy coming off. He's put a big shift in. He'll have enjoyed that. His family are in town actually for the game, which is nice. I've come over from Australia, and yeah, it would mean a lot to him to skip the side in Hong Kong. And yeah, he's put a decent shift in there. It's I think maybe Nate might go to 12, Harry at 13 potentially off the bat, I would say.
So yeah, as you say, Harry Sayers onto the field, and a big deep kick there, well fielded by Van der Schmidt. A couple of steps, and they've double treble teamed in there, but not rolling away.
Taking up the space, get out of there.
Lauder feigned the quick one, but there'll be in no hurry here, Hong Kong, holding this 57 points to 6 lead, 52 minutes gone. And McNeish misses touch, but it wasn't gathered cleanly by the Malaysian, but he's kept it in field. And Van der Schmidt does everything he can to try and hold that ball, but spills it into touch.
That wasn't controlled. The outcome's great for Hong Kong, but that wasn't lucky, to be honest. And
well, looks like the not quite sure whether the touch judges have judged it as being in touch down there. Yeah, it looks like it, because Alex Post is down there with the ball, and 13 minutes in, the referee's calling for the first water break in this second half.
I think what's happened there, Cookie, is they've brought it back to where the kicker kicked it wrong, because they brought it back over into their own 22, and then Van der Schmidt caught it or dropped it whilst he was over the line, so then it's all pulled all the way back. So the outcome's good for Hong Kong. It was just pretty lucky how it all panned out, to be honest. I think
so Keelan Chapman on there for his 3rd cap.
Oh, he's on, is he?
From the Hong Kong Football Club. He's had a fantastic domestic season here. Has really staked the claim to that jersey for the football club.
He's got a bit of everything as Keelan. He's shifted some timber since when I first rocked up, and he's very dynamic around the field. He's got a full 80 in him. He's good over the ball. He's got a decent skill set. Good scrummager.
Famously, his nickname used to be Big Pants. I think we can only call him Medium Pants at best now.
Yeah. Family full of pants. His father is known as Wise Pants. He's a very intelligent man. Keelan himself now Medium Pants.
So some rehydration going on there in the stands, and good to see the youngsters there getting a chance to get up close and personal with their heroes there, waving the flag, wearing their Hong Kong jerseys. Again, it's fantastic to see so many people watching in from Malaysia. Although the score is not with your side at the moment, they're putting up a fantastic performance here against a pretty organised Hong Kong outfit. So Patrick Jenkinson will now take over the skipper's armband now that Tom Hill is off the field. So Alex Post about to throw the ball into this line out. Jenkinson rises. Jamie Lauder, a little pump fake there. Eventually gets the ball to Van der Schmidt. Lauder digging in for the ball. James Sawyer gets man and ball there, but looks after. Cal McCullough in over it. Ben Higgins going well here. Rip the ball to Altier, to McNeish. Oh, I hear a whistle, so Sebby Bryan pulled back. Looks like there would have been a forward pass somewhere there. But they're coming back. Coming back from an earlier penalty infringement. And the Malaysians have got somebody down in back play.
Davy Tang looks like he's coming on as well, and Drin as well. I mean, it's very typical of our game, is when we make these kind of changes in the heat, when the scoreboard is as separated as it is now, about how to keep disciplined and sticking to those structures that will be in place. And I think that would be a big message for particularly Bryn coming on here as a game controller, about just sticking to process and not getting too sevens orientated.
So, as you say, Bryn coming on, fantastic shift from Jamie Lauder. It's been at the heart of everything that Hong Kong's done on the front foot.
Yeah, I think he was, well, he was Football Club's Player of the Year this year, and for me, one of the, well, probably the standout in the league as well. He had a fantastic season at club, domestically, and quite rightfully taking the 9 jersey at the moment, I would say.
So back to the game. McNeish pushes the ball. So we're 5 metres out. So will this be rinse and repeat from the previous try? Post throws the ball in. Jenkinson rises. It's a good setup. Keelan Chapman on the ball, but now Post is at the in the boot of this again, and it's looking ominous as they drive towards. But the Malaysians making it much harder work. They shear off to the right, and Hong Kong are over. And Alex Post comes up with that ball again. Pretty regulation stuff, as we've said. A lot of the tries have come from breakouts, but Hong Kong definitely need to practice their tight skills, because the game against Korea next week will be a much tougher one. So a double there for Alex Post.
I think it's his last involvement with the game. I think David Tang is coming on for him, and yeah, you're right, very clinical there from Hong Kong. I was also, I mean, driving lineouts aren't my forte by any stretch, but it looked like Malaysia might have weathered that, and they managed to reset and get the momentum again and get Posty over the line. Patrick coming off too, so looks like Jamie Pincott onto the field as well. So quite an early, in terms of the size bench, completely unloaded now. I don't know if there's anybody.
So as you say, David. So as McNeish lines this kick up, it's another good strike, but off to the right-hand side. So 62 points to 6. And as we say, David Tang is onto the field, making his Hong Kong debut. Has previously been with the Tigers club, but I think there's a rumour that he could be moving to Hong Kong Scottish. But a fantastic day for him and his family, making his debut here at Football Club. It's another superb take by McCulloch.
He's been good all day, as Cal.
And Bryn Phillips to his clubmate, James Sawyer. De Terry moves the ball, and Altier, little show and go. But well defended there. But good work in the wide channel there, and Pincott getting himself involved. And a really good offload there to Chapman from Van der Schmidt.
Slightly ahead of him there. Frustrating day, I guess, for Nate.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That was kind of. That was a second slip catch heading towards third. Terry's been pretty well organised in the midfield. As you've said, the setup now. De Terry in the 12 slot, Sayers at 13. So change at half-back. Nasser from Terengganu State.
Straight down here, fellas. Let's reset.
Winning his third cap today here, Nasser.
Quite a few of these Malaysian lads wearing skins, which now regulation you're allowed to, and on these 4 or 5G pitches, arguably they help with some of the burns that you can get as well. But imagine pretty hot in these conditions, wearing another layer.
So Nassau with the feed. An interesting setup behind the scrummage here.
Big scrum.
So Higgins penalised for angling in at the scrummage. So Nasser gets his hands on the ball, and it looks like Malaysia are taking a shot at goal. As I say, you cannot imagine how sapping this weather is here in Hong Kong.
Taking a 3 here.
Yeah.
Interesting. Your apologies gone down well with Miss van der Smit, so you can sleep easy at night. Okay.
So lining up this kick. It's about 35 metres out, just inside the 15-metre line on the right-hand side of the field. And not the greatest strike, hooks it off the tee to the left-hand side of the post. So Farouz misses that. So Hong Kong inside, taking their own 22-metre dropout in front of the famous Sportsman's Bar here at Hong Kong Football Club, and that's a high hanging kick and a really good follow-up there from Sayers, really putting some pressure on that.
Newly renovated Sportsman's Bar, quickly. It's going to be a good atmosphere down there tonight.
Oh, Sebi Bryan in on the spot tackle, forces the ball onto the floor, but some really good footwork there from Amarul Hafiz. But the ball has popped out, and Bryn Phillips drops it onto the toe, and there's a gap in behind here, looking for some footwork, and the ball's fortuitously bounced up to him. But he absolutely fires that one at Seb Bryan, who can't hang on. That's quite possibly the first mistake that Sebi Bryan's made all day.
Yeah, not bad little option there from Bryn, going over the top. And it looks like the last two of the bench has come on. We've got Pierce West, a hell of a player. He's come off the bench. Another Sevens lad come off the bench for van der Smit by the looks of it, and
Will
Pandey coming on for Gregor. So I think that will probably be with an eye on next week with both those two leaving, and maybe Nate or Paul go to 10. Pandey at 12. Nate at 10.
So Pierce West making only his second appearance for Hong Kong. His first one, he came on as a replacement in Kenya in 2017 in Nairobi, after about 18 months out with a bad shoulder, and immediately ripped it inside the first 10 minutes of going on. So he's had a fantastic season, been playing a little bit of sevens as well, so let's hope for a good outcome for Pierce today. So a pretty solid scrummage here from Hong Kong. Ball ends up in the hands of Sawyer, who's now in the 8th slot. West does well there. Phillips, David Tang gets hit really hard in the tackle there. I think that really was a welcome to international rugby moment there for David Tang. So Malaysia looking to work the ball out of this 22. Some good tackling in there from Hong Kong. Still plenty of heat coming in. So the ball pulled back to Farouz, who can kick off either foot, and has pulled this ball down to Sebi Bryan, to Altier, Nate to Terry with sixth sense there. Harry Sayers is off and running. Some really good ground made there by Sayers. David Tang with his second carry looks after it, has done really well there. Now Sebi Bryan ranging out on this wing, and it looks like we've got a couple of injuries there, so the referee has stopped the game, brought it back for the penalty in front of the post.
Lovely little bit of play there from Nate.
You just take time out.
So the TMO has spotted some potential foul play.
10, I just want to check foul play here. 10.
So not sure which way that is going.
Just mentioned Nate there. It's pretty pretty impressive when a guy can start in a 13 jersey, be moved to the 12 jersey, and then be slotted in at 10 as well. He's a hell of a player, is Nate, and does a seriously good job in a number of positions. Arguably his best is a fullback, which he's not even played at all today. So yeah, he's a real good asset for Hong Kong.
Let's hope that this doesn't result in anything that ends up with any kind of red card there. So Paul Altier came in hard on that, and somebody reeled out the back of it. So I don't know if that is what is being looked at.
I mean, he's already had a yellow as well.
Yeah. So Altier in there, and yeah, I think it would be pretty hard to imagine that he's not going to see the colour red for that. So David Tang with a carry there. Not sure if it's this ruck here. I think it's the ruck after this one, as the ball comes. So yeah, there was the penalty.
Are they looking at the neck roll there, or
no? It's I'm pretty sure it's Altier at this next ruck.
Or the one before.
So as he comes in, so Altier there comes in. And
so what I'm seeing there, Greg, is 15 blue arriving with a leading shoulder. It looks to me like it's direct contact to the head. Can you confirm that's the case?
Correct. It is direct contact to the head.
So we've got blue 15, leading shoulder, direct contact to the head, red card.
Correct.
So it looks like between the referee and the TMO that Altier is going to see the colour red.
15, please. So got 15
it looks
blue,
like
with the leading shoulder, direct contact to the head. That's a red card.
So Altier shown the red card. He looks fairly distraught with what's happened there. That's almost certainly going to see him out of the career game next week, unless that were turned over at the disciplinary. So he's pretty upset with himself there.
Just confirm that player's okay.
But I think it was a reasonable decision.
Yeah, unfortunately, letter of the law now. That is very much. Oof, there you go. Yeah, letter of the law. That was there was only one decision to be made there.
So Malaysia missing touch. Higson with a good carry back, and now Bryn Phillips moves the ball to Terry. Will Pandey with some really good feet in the wide channel there, and the ball dropped inside. So with all the changes, James Sawyer now looks like he is the captain on the field. And after all of that, with 63 minutes gone, 62-6, Hong Kong China leading Malaysia. And we're going to have a small break here. Oh no break. They're playing on through the injury. Good take there. Just gliding through the contact there, Pandey. And a really good offload there, tip on by Higgins.
Sorry, mate.
Good work from Sayers. Higson Smith just powers through, gets the ball to McKinley West. And what a return to international rugby for Pierce McKinley West with a try.
Good bit of play there from Higo. He's played well, he's carried well, and he's been dominating some of those contact situations, and then being able to get the ball away with some very telling offloads. That's another assist for Charles.
So as you said, Nate, really good work from Harry Sayers, keeps that going, but this good footwork and powering through the contact, and that really good natural number 7 skill there of being on the trailing inside shoulder. Pierce McKinley West dots over for his first 15-a-side try in an international jersey. He's got plenty in the 7s jersey, but he'll be very, very happy with that. So Kamal there receiving some attention to a calf muscle. I think the cumulative fatigue for the Malaysians is showing 2 weeks on the bounce, having to play against South Korea and then come out and play against a pretty rampant, fresh Hong Kong team is a tough ask. So Terry misses the extras, so 67-6 with about 15 minutes to play.
Yeah, there's a fair amount of rugby left. I think we're going to see, I've just seen Bryn's body language there. I think the message going on just to keep that tempo high, and I think we'll probably see boys play out from deep as a bit of a preference for the rest of this game.
So some more changes being made here by Malaysia. Zarif leaving the field. Has to be said, every one of these Malaysian players has absolutely given their all.
Great feed.
Good carry from Sawyer. West drives through the contact there to Terry. Puts the ball high. Brian and Pandey. That's a good push in behind. Phillips is there.
Really nice option for winger.
Now Nate Terry putting on some footwork there. Gets upended in midfield there. Bryn Phillips.
Great option.
Dinks the ball over the top. Spotted the gap there. Pandey putting the pressure on and forces the ball to be kicked into touch there. So good net gain from Hong Kong there.
Yeah, nice option from Bryn. There was no backfield coverage in that bottom right part of the field.
So as a reminder, Hong Kong down to 14 men with a red card for Paul Altier. Hong Kong make a bit of a mess of that line out, and Malaysia have come up with it, picked up the scraps in midfield. Nasser goes high, and Terry is there, and he's playing heads-up rugby, looking for everything there, and Cal McCullough with a great line in the wide channel there. David Tang with good support. Seb Bryan just about 3 or 4 meters out, stays on his feet, and he's still going. Absolutely amazing score there from Seb Bryan. A lot of help from his friends there. Good follow-up from Cal McCullough, David Tang. But for all money, when he gathered that ball, Glyn, I didn't think anybody in this stadium thought that he could score except Seb Bryan.
He's got a real good ability to keep his feet in contact, and I think you can see Cal and David Tang giving him a hand over the line, but he needs that initial strength to stay up on his feet and allow those big fellas to get in behind him, and quite deservedly goes over for his 4th. There's a nice counter there from Nate. We said he's not been in the 15 jersey. He's probably going to have to split the duties in attack, running at 10, but then he'll be filling in at fullback with Paul now off the field, and he was very decisive in his counter there, and got Cal McCullough free in the wide channels, and a couple of phases later, Hong Kong go over the line for another score.
So Nate Terry. It's a wide out kick. It's just in front of the Fours Gate stand here. It's a great strike. And he nails the extras. So 74 points to 6. Terry gets himself onto the scoreboard.
Body language now for some of the Malaysians is looking pretty tough. They've been very game all day, and they've been very well supported. We've got the little block of Malaysian fans to our right, Cookie, and they've been very vocal. They're still backing their team, and I'm sure they'll want them to go over for a try before the end of the 80 minutes.
So said, it's a tough ask for the Malaysians to back up the week after playing South Korea. Good take there by Harry Sayers.
It's outside. Use that, please.
So the ball adjudged outside the 22, so can't kick directly into touch. Bryn Phillips puts this high box kick up. Higson Smith and McKinley West, good tackle there. And Farouz again on his left peg this time. So Seb Bryan pulls the ball inside to Bryn Phillips, who rakes the ball down the field. And that is a huge carve off of distance with 30 minutes gone in this second half. Referee Shane Barr calls for a second water break. As we've said, although the sun's gone down now, the humidity's come up. Mr. Barr there asking for a drink himself.
Bryn's been pretty impressive since he's come on. I think his kicking game is very strong. Both of the scrum halves for Hong Kong have got very strong kicking games as well. Bryn's got some very good length on his kick. Yeah, I think back end what we got left, Cookie, 10 minutes. I think Hong Kong want to be as clinical as possible, just keeping the ball in hand as much as they can for this last 10 and try and run ragged this Malaysian team that has been up against it for a lot of the game, but still defending pretty resolutely.
Yeah, there's absolutely no doubt that it's not like Malaysia have given up in any way, shape or form in this game. They've made Hong Kong work for the scores, and to be fair, Hong Kong have been fairly clinical and not made too many mistakes so far today.
Yeah, I agree. There was that little wobble maybe 20-25 minutes into the first half where there was a few Hong Kong mistakes, and it shifted the ascendancy back to the Malaysians. That's when they scored their 2 penalties, but apart from that, it's been very clinical from Hong Kong. They've looked dangerous every time they've attacked.
Lady 6 pints on the screen there with a skull, and Lewis Evans, I'm guessing he'll be fairly happy. As we've said, Hong Kong been relatively clinical so far. So now JJ Asley with the throw for Malaysia. In front of the Forsgate stand. Petrus comes up with his hands on that ball, but Hong Kong have worked really hard, and Higgins avoids getting bundled into touch. Good hands there by Bryn Phillips. Higgins has recycled himself and got the ball there. Phillips looking right, then left. David Tang with another good carry there. A good clean out by Chapman.
He needed it because he was isolated there.
Oh, good hands by Pandey. Harry Sayers staying really strong on his feet there. Oh, good hands, Ben Higgins.
That's nice.
And Altier, McKinley West inside Pincott. Really good following up from the big man.
Seb in for 5.
A big pass there. Sebi Bryant with a phenomenal finish there. It was a really good tackle on him, but it looks like he's done the old rugby league.
Yeah,
Get himself in the air.
Lino's giving it the thumbs up. Oh, that's an amazing finish. Got right up, you're right. It's a very rugby league-esque finish. This
great pass there. He does a little in and out, and a phenomenal finish in the air there. I don't know whether we'll get to see it from this angle. Oh, fantastic finish, Seb Bryant. He's a fantastic young man, is Seb Bryant, adds massively to any environment that he's involved with, and Nate will be really pleased that he obviously couldn't have got it any closer to the line if he had tried.
I think Nate's been stitched up with it. This is his 3rd touchline conversion on the bounce.
He'll certainly be upset with that McNeish got all the ones under the sticks, but that's a really good strike, and he's nailed it. So that brings up 81 points to 6. So Terry, fantastic 2 kicks that he's nailed there.
I think a lot of the Hong Kong substitutes have made some really good impact. I feel like, I mentioned Bryn a minute ago, the props, Keelan and Higgins have been very active around the field. Sayers has looked good in open space too. Pearce, Davey as well, getting his hands on the ball. But Pincott looks pretty hungry as well when he's got ball in hand. And
yeah, I mean, as you say, there's been absolutely zero drop-off in the intensity coming from Hong Kong as they've rung the changes, and we've actually got 2 Malaysians down, and well, 3 Malaysians down in back play at the moment. Samir, the lock, he has really put in a good shift, is on the far touchline.
yeah, some of these bigger lads that have look like they're going to go the full 80 for both sides here. Cal McCullough and Sam Choi down here, we can see both of them looking a little worse for wear and dishevelled, but have put a seriously good shift in. I think there's a couple of the Malaysian, the 4 down here has been getting through some serious effort, and also the tight end, is it Lawrence?
Lawrence Petrus.
Yeah, I think he's done the full 80 as well, and he's not a small man, so yeah, it's a really good shift from the likes of these guys.
And as we've said, that we're backing up from having played against South Korea last week. So Razali comes back onto the field because of a head injury. The protocol for head injuries in these games is recognise and remove. There's no head injury assessment. So we've had, as we can see on screen here, the youngsters really enjoying the day here, supporting Hong Kong China. 81 points to 6. Lots of flag waving, bit of face painting.
Yeah, very.
The only thing missing is the bouncy castle.
Yeah, there's often bouncy castle in the triangle, but yeah, it's been very well attended and really good to see Hong Kong 15s back on the agenda in Hong Kong as well. This is the first home game for God knows how long, right? Pre-COVID,
I think
been
the
4
last
years?
home game was Malaysia in 2019. So yeah, but a long time between drinks at the Sportsman's for Hong Kong Rugby 15s fans. Obviously been lucky enough to have 2 7s within the last season. But Po Yang, Nazarene gets the ball back into play, and Terry moves it to Pandey with those beautiful pink boots of his. And he finds a good touch finder, but Malaysia will be relatively happy with that. They've got a line-out throw inside the Hong Kong half.
I'll be quite keen for Hong Kong to just keep the ball in hand for the last 5 as well. Now it's there's not much to be gained now from playing territory. I think just be good to see some of these lads, particularly the boys that have just come on, that are fresh, getting ball in some of those lads' hands.
So Asley with the throw. McCullough gets in amongst that. I'm not sure if it's gone forward yet. Barr is playing the advantage. Petrus. Oh, that is a fantastic carry from the man 75 minutes into this game. So Razali back in the 9 shirt. As you said, this is a colossal shift from such a big man. 75 minutes in. And the Malaysians just trying to take some time and heat out of this game, opt to go for the 3 points. And in all honesty, I cannot blame them. You look at the score, 81 points to 6.
Is this a reflection of having your goal kicker and your 10 as a captain? Anytime there's an opportunity, get that personal tally up as well. I don't know if this is the same guy. This is a different guy who's kicking actually, but it seems their logic.
This is Nazreen. It's a very good strike, and it's over. So 81 points to 9. Nazreen with the penalty there. Really good strike on that, but that all came from a colossal carry by Lawrence Petrus. As I said, 75 minutes into the game, and he's still there. Good rise there from Harry Sayers, and he knocked the ball back.
First one backwards, then forward.
Higgins couldn't hang on to the scraps there.
Yeah, it's quite interesting seeing the skill sets coming through from some of the Sevens boys. I mean, I've played a lot with McCullough, and he's outstanding in the air, but these a lot of the Sevens lads are so used to getting up, particularly in the restarts, to get their hand to the ball, batting it back, and winning possession back for their team. And yeah, it's just interesting to see how that then plays out in the 15s games across the board. 13, Harry going up for that ball there.
So Razali with the field, just under 2 minutes to go in this game.
The colour of the boots of the three-quarter line there for Hong Kong, orange, pink, yellow. Oh, Bryn's in.
Bryn Phillips snaps that drop ball up and is in for the try. So Bryn Phillips from the Kowloon Club here in Hong Kong. This is his 12th cap, and he really has played some heads-up rugby. So as they were moving the ball there was the double round. Unfortunately, Nazreen just spilled the ball. Phillips were just coming forward onto it. And yeah, 86-9. That try from Bryn Phillips. And Nate Deterry adds the extras, so 88 points to 9. And referee Shane Barr calls an end to the game. So a fairly emphatic win there for Hong Kong, China over Malaysia. 88 points to 9, Glenn.
Yeah, job done there for sure for Hong Kong after having not played for such a lengthy period of time. I think they'd have been quite happy with that. I think Lewis will be yeah, confident looking in it forward to next week as well, where Korea lie in wait, and there'll be a stern test there for sure. But I was impressed more than anything. I think I was impressed, firstly, the start. I thought it was a very efficient start and very clinical in how they went about that, but then also how they stuck to process in the second half when the score was ballooning out. They kept the foot on the throat and were very, very good for the entirety of the 80, really. There was that little 25 minute marker where Malaysia came into the game, but overall I think Hong Kong could be very pleased with how today went.
And I've got to say, what a manful performance by Malaysia. They really did try and stick to it throughout the game there. And probably the only real blot of the copybook for Hong Kong is the loss of Altier to the red card.
Yeah, it's a shame. He won't be available for next week, but there was no real decision there to be made other than one that was given, right? The letter of the law is what it is right now, and you run in recklessly like we just saw there. There's only going to be one outcome from it, and unfortunately for Paul, that was the outcome for him today.
Yeah, and you've got to think about it. He was already on a yellow, so even if it had been downgraded as a yellow card offence, he would still have been off for 2 yellows. So nothing really to talk about there. But Yeah, some really good effort there. And here we go with the highlights. Superb ball over the top there from Altier.
This was number 3, wasn't it, for Seb?
Yeah, that was... and then for the first time, Hong Kong went for the driving maul, Alex Post. He won't score many simpler tries than that, but good to see that Hong Kong got their set piece going.
Yeah, another one here, another easy meat pie for a hooker. And they'll chop a few of those this season. But yeah, I like the little mix-up there where there was the how clinical Hong Kong were when we went to the driving line out for those 2 consecutive scores.
And then there was quite a bit of time before the next score came, and that was the Altier red card there. So went to the TMO decision, and red card. He's obviously distraught with himself there. But there was some really good hands here from Saya, and then Charles Higson-Smith powers through. Great little drop-off. And a fantastic try there for Pierce McKinley-West on his return to Hong Kong shirt. And then young Sebi Bryan. How on earth he scored that try, I will never know. But good work. And this one has probably got to be the finish of the day. Diving and dotting down just inside the corner flag. And that was a really good strike by Nazreen to bring it back to 81-9 at the time. And then the final little mistake there, and Bryn Phillips made a real impact on the game after Lauder had a really superb first half. So there we have it. It's essentially 88-9.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, everybody, and we'll be back here next week to take on South Korea. Same time, same place. Look forward to seeing you all.
Hi Tom, congratulations on a win. Big win, your first game of the season in Asia Rugby Championship. How did that game go for you guys?
Yeah, thanks very much. It's fantastic to be back here playing live rugby in Hong Kong. Obviously it went really well for us. We were really pleased with what we did out there. Credit to Malaysia as well. They hit hard and we'll have some sore bodies tomorrow, but yeah, we're very happy with the win.
Yeah, it looked like your power pushed you through, but they were very, defensively they were very good. How did it feel during the game for you in terms of being able to run your attacking and all that?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been together, training together for 9 weeks now here in Hong Kong. So, and we've got a lot of the guys from last year's Repechage and the Asia Rugby Championship last year. So a lot of our combinations, we play a lot of rugby together. So it was great to get out there. Obviously really tough in the Hong Kong heat, but we got through and yeah, really happy with the win.
Well done. Congratulations. Good luck against Korea in your next game.
Thanks very much. See you next week. Cheers.
So we're now going to speak to the captain of Malaysia.
Salam Fairouz, hard luck for the game. Just share with us, how did it feel for you guys, Malaysia team, during the game?
This is a tough game for us, but I'm very proud with all my teammates. They give all hard work to play against Hong Kong. Then we know that Hong Kong is a better team, but we try our best to make our flag being proud to play against Hong Kong.
Yeah, it's a big score, but you defended really well. Well done. How much of an effect having 2 games back-to-back had on the performance?
It's very tough for us because it's a back-to-back games, and our preparation is in a short while, for 3 weeks only. But we play in a good match. We give we go against Korea and Hong Kong.
Well done. I'm sure Malaysia is proud of you. Hard luck and safe travels back home.
Yeah, thank you very much to the Hong Kong Rugby Union too for the hospitality. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Words there from Farouz, the captain of Malaysia. As he said, they absolutely gave their all in that game, and they can get back on the plane. There'll be some really sore, tired bodies on their way back to Malaysia probably tomorrow, and Hong Kong can look forward to a 7-day rest before they come back here next week, Glenn, to take on South Korea.
Yep, I think it'll be a different complexion to that game for sure. But there was some good performances, I thought, across the board. There wasn't really anyone that I thought stood out for the wrong reasons. I'd say that there were Sebi Bryan with 5 scores. It's hard to move past that, but I think there was the big fellas first half. I thought Faisal and Luke van der Smit were outstanding. I thought Gregor was good all day. I would say both scrum halves were pretty handy, and I'd also say I think Charles Dixon-Smith had a very strong game as well. He scored either 1 or 2 himself, and was in the right place, right time, with some offloads for others to get across the line too.
Absolutely, and Pat Jenkinson as well was supreme in the line-out. He won't have such a good or an easy time next week, but anyway. So, same time next week, 5 o'clock, Hong Kong versus South Korea, final game of the ARC 2023, and the ARC title will be on the line. Reigning champions taking on South Korea. So it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from Glenn.
Yeah, cheers, Cookie. Thanks for having me, mate.
Thank you. See you all next week.